Leaves turn, shadows lengthen. A chill breeze rises from the east, even as the sun warms my face. The days grow short, the nights grow long, the smell of spiced cider and dry leaves filling the air. The whispers of ancestors, long past on the wind, a witch's song prancing on my lips as the trees turn the color of fire. Then the days grow short, and the fire leaves fall, and the echoes of voices long gone from this world, they haunt me still. The crackling of fire chases away the ache in heart as snow blossoms bloom upon grasping bare branches. The skies are endless gray. Sunlight is pale and wan, reflecting the emptiness of a world gone into deep, dormant sleep. Yet wheel turns forward, the cold driven away by warm blankets, hot chocolate, and a cozy night with friends, as we watch the sunrise of a new year come upon us. I hear the oath of a season, the promise that, in the end, we find a place to finally call home.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the House of Dreams, fantastical worlds, mythic beasts, and wondrous tales. Set your imagination free. We are a TTRPG actual play creative collective led by queer, BIPOC, and marginalized folks. I am Okami, and I will be your guide. Today, we present the finale of Chapter 4 of A Season's Oath, a Wanderhome actual play series of hope, exploration, and deep magic. A West Marches, hexcrawl, and OSR inspired folklore punk journey with a rotating cast of travelers who weave in and out of the saga. All of them are seeking to understand a magic bestowed upon them by the venerable and forgotten gods of flame, form, dark, and wind. A journey that will take them to many forgotten and sacred places all over Haeth. This series will showcase the full rules of Wanderhome by Possum Creek Games, including the seasons, holidays, guest playbooks and places, and J Dragon's Patreon homebrew magic rules. House of Dreams and Pocket Dragon Pub are teaming up this Pride season for a month-long charity actual play streaming event. We're raising funds for Rainbow Railroad, a Canadian based nonprofit lending aid to LGBTQ refugees all over the globe to find safe places to relocate and live as their authentic selves. Sundays all through June, including next Sunday on Pocket Dragon Pub. The House has been streaming this fourth chapter, and the pub will be streaming, as they have been earlier today and later tonight, LGBTQ themed one shots, including, after the stream tonight, a special A Season's Oath interlude guided by myself. All of this is leading to the final weekend of June, where Pocket Dragon Pub will be streaming one shot, but we will also be lending our support both channels to Pantsless Tables for their Pride streaming celebration, who they are raising funds for PFLAG, another wonderful nonprofit that helps parents of LGBTQ people who support and stand up for their kids. To donate to Rainbow Railroad, you will see the Tiltify link in the chat, or you can use the QR code in the overlay. Please donate if you can. And we also have some fun incentives to add color and wonder to our journey. For $5, our travelers can gain a token that they may use or save for later. For $15, we introduce a new kith. A kith that is not yet met by the travelers on their current journey will be introduced into the scene, such as from the backstory of one of the travelers or from the current place they're exploring. If all named kith have been met, then the group will look at the common animal folk of the place they are visiting and create a new kith to meet and interact with. For $25, the travelers can either discover a relic, a special kith that is an inanimate object that confers the traveler who carries it with a supernatural trait, as if they were a kith. Each relic also has a unique bit of Haeth lore that comes with it. A roll on a special chart will determine what relic is found on the journey. And, or for $25, they can confer a magic trait. A traveler gains the first level of a new path of magic, deepening their connection to the venerable and forgotten gods. We have a donation goal. So for every $50 we hit, we awaken a folklore. The folklore of the current nature being directly interacted with is immediately brought into the current scene, or if we're in the middle of the vibes, feeling our emotions, into the scene immediately after. Now, I just want to say for my amazing travelers, we have hit not one, but two. We reached our original goal of $100, and now we are continuing to push to a goal of $200. Thank you to everyone who's donated. Thank you to everyone who donated to Pocket Dragon Pub, who we have teamed up with. We deeply appreciate it. So hold on to your butts. We're going to be doing two folklores back to back for sure this session. Now that we've announced that good news, let's introduce our cast of travelers. As I said, I'm Okami, and I am your guide. Paul, tell us who you're playing, your playbook, their pronouns, and then what type of animal they are, and then popcorn it on over to another one of the people at the table.
Hey everybody, I'm Paul. I'm back and I'm unapologetically black, and you can find me on Apochromatic and here in House of Dreams from time to time. I'm playing Horus, who is a raccoon firelight who helps people move on to the underworld with his firefly companion. I'm going to use quotes, air quotes. Yeah, firefly companion. How about no? Firefly companion, Than. And he is a raccoon with a brand new feather in his big brimming cap. And I will popcorn over to Mark, who's muted.
Yeah, sorry. And my mouse stopped working, so I was never going to unmute myself without that. Hey, everybody. It's your 41-year-old non-binary boy, Mark J, coming to you live from the nation's capital. I am playing the wonderful Oken, who is a kitten ragamuffin. Basically, I'm a jobless, homeless kitten that you want to take in and feed warm, tasty things to. My pronouns are any and all. I think Ragamuffin's, Oken's pronouns are also any and all. And happy to be here. I'm going to give it to Janie.
I am Janie. I am in the same universe, I think, as the rest of you, possibly. That's still up for question. And I've played Azalea. Tonight I'll be playing Lavender. And I'm going to popcorn it over to Leona.
That's me. Hello, I am Leona, and today I will be playing Geeta. She is our black fluffy cat dancer, and we both use she, her pronouns.
All right. So we're going to do this intro a little bit different. Instead of launching with our questions, we're going to give ourselves a little bit of time. We're going to let everyone know that the group said goodbye to their friend, Azalea. Azalea ascended the Swan Witch to a beautiful sky castle, achieving a fantastical apotheosis, creating a home all her own, a beautiful place that is both a palace, a ruin, and a garden. And for a time that seems infinite, but also all too short, her and her friends and Kamal and uh, a certain oh gosh, what was the name of that amazing little uh, friend that y'all made that came with you? Someone from the village. Ah, they came along. Uh, and you all spent some time exploring this castle in the sky, and eventually, Azalea bid you all farewell. You're all sort of standing on a platform at the very edge of a cloud in front of this glorious palace, high up in the sky, and below you see infinite white far down below of the ice home tundra. And coming up to you is one of the many people that was already living here when you arrived. That there had been several kith from all over Azalea's life, a massive extended group of family and friends who had all been brought up to this palace to spend one final joyous journey with her. And it is another swan. Janie, could you describe to us your new character, the one created by the final move of magic that you took last session? Taking a moment, Janie?
Yes. Lavender, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Can you all hear me?
I can absolutely hear you. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So, Lavender is a white swan. She has she's wearing lavender, of course, to black. Okay. Yeah, she's wearing the color that she's named after, and black, like just a pink covered, like simple kind of dress and pants. She's got a travel easel on her back, a cluttered canvas bag, and a big wide smile. And I'm gonna say she's got some paintbrushes like tucked into her hair or her hat,
I love it.
little splotches on her hands.
Wow. And so she's a canvas,
And she's
right?
really happy to see you all.
I love that. That's wonderful. Um, so you see Lavender approaching, uh, and Kamal says, "Oh, uh, everyone, this is Lavender. You're Azalea's niece, cousin." Uh-oh. I don't know if Janie can hear me. Let me
We're
refresh.
family, it doesn't really matter how.
Oh, there's a delay. Hold on a moment. And we're back. The tech goblins tried to defeat us, but they will not stop myself and this lovely swan from role playing with one another. So, Kamal asks how you are related, and you said it doesn't matter. We're
Yeah.
family. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. She told us that you would be able to guide us back down.
Yeah, I can show you. I go down when I'm not supposed to all the time.
I actually looked at Kamal and asked, is it important to you how they're related? Is that vital to your situation?
No.
Like, I don't, not in like a judging manner, but more like an informative, like, is that important?
You're right. That isn't important.
Well, if it's time for us, we should probably head out.
So, uh, is there like some kind of like ritual, Janie, that she performs?
I'm going to say that she just has a secret way.
Oh, okay.
She,
Uh,
I guess it is a ritual. It could be a ritual, like going a secret way. It's like she would go down the back stairs, and there's a small little passage that's pretty slippery and icy. And then there's another set of stairs, and then there's a path that leads down.
all the way down to the surface.
Yes,
That
but you
is
have to like tuck under some icicles to get there.
that is incredible. So you all go down this secret path that seems to go down for miles, all the way down, and unfortunately, you don't end up where you were before. You end up in a new place, which I will be describing to you all now. You all arrive at Frostwatch, a former Orchid Rebellion stronghold, far from the reach of the monarchist forces of the Floating Mountain. A community for refugees, radicals, and those seeking shelter from the bitter cold of the tundra come to Frostwatch. The sacred art of ice fishing is taught to any who wish to learn, and the watchtower provides trade and communication with the Order of the Moth Tenders. The watchtower has a printing press where pamphlets and zines are published for the people, by the people, all sent out to Haeth via the Arctic moths who dwell in its tower's rookery. The natures of this place are it is an ice house on a flat sheet of frozen water. The only protection from the wind and snow is a small warm shack that houses a handful of holes in the ice. It is a refuge, a place where travelers can seek safety from dangerous forces. And it is also a tower, a place that reaches so high up into the sky that it feels like it scrapes against the clouds. The aesthetics of Frostwash are fish, freshly caught and quickly cooked, ice as far as the eye can see, plenty of extra beds, markings of safety, winding staircases all the way to the top, and roosting moths in the tower's rafters. This place can always, and these are the place moves that everyone is welcome to also perform, describe the warmth to be found within, and a hot fireplace, a steamy mug of cocoa, or simply the smile of a friend. Trap them inside with the threat of harsh conditions. Ask what chill follows them inside, and give them a token if it's not something easily remedied. Describe the precautions taken by those dwelling here. Remind everyone what looms beyond. Ask what worries you. They get a token if they lay bare their heart. Describe something very small and far away. Spread concern around structural stability. And make someone dizzy or disoriented and give them a token. The folklores of this place, the lake that never thaws, the 100-year storm, and the ghost that walks the stairs. Common animal folk of Frostwatch are seals, penguins, orcas, polar bears, and wolves. The small and forgotten gods are ice moths, steam goblins, and whale giants. The time of year has finally come, and the holiday that will be taking place when you all arrive at Frostwatch is sunrise. The last flickering stars of the old year brush against the hopeful youth of the new. Most people are asleep as the morning dawn welcomes something new to us. But for the lucky few that stay up, it can mean everything. When the sun rises, go around and ask one question to the left and one question to your right, using those questions in your playbook from the start of your journey. It's okay and expected for those answers to have changed. Traditions of sunrise: blankets on the ground, rambling jokes, whispered confessions, lying in piles, and sneaking away. As the sun rises, everyone can always get a token whenever you have fun with people you care about, even if you only just met them. Spend a token to spot something fantastical and possible that no one should ever get to see. And smile. What is the first thing that you all notice as you step off of this enchanted set of ice stairs into the outer edges of the Frostwatch compound?
I actually have a question before we get that
Yes.
far.
Absolutely, yeah.
You said there are rebels here. Rebels is a very broad term.
Yes.
Are we talking like
The purple orchid?
Mothma-y rebels, or are we talking like Saw Gerrera-y rebels? Because those are different types of rebels.
It is the Orchid Rebellion. Probably a mix. This is kind of like one part, like, this is, from what you can see, it's kind of a mix, because we're dealing with like a post-war situation. So it would probably be a mix between Mon Mothma rebels and Saw Gerrera rebels that have kind of moved on and turned this place into a place for like climate disaster, right? Where like, originally Frostwatch was established for getting as far away as possible from the power of the King of the Floating Mountain. And now it's like a place where people can go that live in the region to get away from blizzards, storms, and have a place that's safe and warm to stay. And if nobody wants to be around, it's still a place where you can get away from the various vestiges of monarchy that are still sprinkled throughout Haeth as well. But it's not this same like base of operations that it used to be.
Okay. Because
there are people who are like both. Yeah.
Okay, so there's some people that are like burn everything down, and some people that are still doing stuff. So it's not exactly the chillest place all the time in the sense of
yeah. And they're mixing.
There
and also,
there
this
are
is where the
political
are.
discourses happening. Is what it sounds like.
Everyone's on the same page about who their enemy is. The weather and monarchists, but they're not necessarily on the same page about how to handle things long term, even in this time.
About what to do about the weather and the monarchist.
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking for the tension level. The important things.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep. So I'm going to describe the warmth to be found within. There's all of these different ice houses, these different kind of shacks that have been built up around the area. And then there's like a big, like almost like a longhouse that's like next to a stone tower that's shooting up into the sky. Everything is sort of covered with a fine powder of snow. It's not snowing now. It's calm. The time of year that you all are in is you're getting it's it's still cold, but there is uh like a soft warmth that makes you realize that it's got to be sunrise because that biting chill isn't in the air anymore, even though y'all are really far north. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
And there's lots of fires. There's kids running around with families. Um, People are, just going in and out of these warm buildings, um, and kind of approaching you all is this like big burly uh, polar bear. He's wearing like a dark blue wool button up coat that's kind of lined in fur, uh, and he's got like a harpoon, like a fishing harpoon on his side, and he kind of walks up and he's like, "Greetings, coming to take refuge from the sky."
I was leading him back down. Sorry. I
No,
I didn't give any notice.
uh, uh, it's fine, Lavender. It's all right. Um, yeah, no. As long as you're here claiming refuge, you're more than welcome to come here. Do you need? Does anyone need anything to eat? Any treatment? Any ailments? We have lots of extra beds.
Cookies.
Cookies.
I ran out. I was gonna get some cookies.
Right. The rest of you? Oh, I apologize. I'm Yuka. I'm the I guess you could say the community guardian. It's kind of my job to check up on all strangers that arrive.
But they're great. They're like awesome. Come on, you all. Let's get some cookies.
Nice to meet you, Yuka. I'm Geeta. I don't think we have any ailments. I think we're just looking to stay warm.
Okay. Oh, you have a Firelight with you.
Yes.
Well, w- welcome. Welcome indeed. Oh, is this your apprentice? And they point over to Oken because Knock is like flying around you. I'm sorry, I didn't
I
mean
let
to.
Oken. I look to Oken and let Oken answer that question.
No, I'm not an apprentice.
Oh, I take it that this little ball of light is just your friend then. And Knock does something you haven't seen him do before. He kind of shakes and like makes a sound that sounds like tinkling silver bells.
No,
Uh,
showing off. Jeez.
well, welcome to Frostwatch.
Thank you for having us.
We'll get you some cookies.
Thanks.
Most welcome. Uh, so how long have y'all been journeying in this part of Haeth?
Well, it's definitely been a minute. We solved some snow maiden issues.
Oh, snow maidens. Oh, that's rough.
Dealt with the lost caravan. We traveled Azure. I believe Oken saved us all, according to Oken's telling of the story. Correct?
Yeah, I pretty much led the way and did all the work, and these are my followers.
Hmm. That's good. It's good
My,
indeed.
my vassals, if you will.
Funny kid. Funny. So he leads you into like one of the many ice houses, and where you see that there's like holes in the ground. You see all kinds of different kinds of people like sitting in these really kind of sturdy wooden chairs with these fishing poles, just kind of going down into the water. And everybody just kind of walks around them on the back sides of the wall. You can see that there's like benches and like fur covered uh like beds, more like cots, I would say, where people can like kind of bundle up and get comfortable and get further back from the holes in the ice. There are, places where there's like a, fire pot kind of cooking. There's a little bit of like, you know, condensation kind of around, but it is warm in here and really inviting. And you can see that there's like a grill in the corner where people are grilling fresh fish. But they're also like baking cookies. Uh, hey, Suki, and this young seal woman who she's dressed very similarly to the spirit speaker that you met in the previous village. She has the same like long dreads with like shells and beads and things that are kind of twined into her hair. And she looks up and she's at the grill, and she's got these mitts on. She just goes into this like stone oven and pulls out these fresh spiced ginger cookies. Um, Pulls them out, sets them atop, and you're like, we have company. Give me a few minutes. I'm going to get these on a plate for you all. Welcome to Frostwatch. What brings you? And you see her like pull out a little spatula, and she's just kind of putting all the cookies on the plate.
I think
Lavender.
Lavender's going to try to steal a cookie before it gets put on the plate.
That better?
Hello, welcome everyone. Tech goblins tried to defeat us again. I think I want to start with all the group kind of gathered together with Siku, the Arctic Seal uh, spirit speaker, community caregiver. She sort of leads you all away from this particular ice house to the bigger, like long ice house that's right next to the tower, and, and that is warm, is warmer.
That happening on the stream itself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I am no longer a robot, right? Am I back? Cool.
I mean, you weren't a Hector. You weren't a Hector for me. You weren't a robot for me. So there is that.
Uh, so when you guys go into this longhouse building, there are, like I said, braziers that are keeping everybody warm. There's at the end of the room, there's a big roaring fireplace that also has, all kinds of like food cooking on it. And there's tables. Here's an area with tables where people can sit, drink hot cocoa, relax. Is so Siku's like, come, have a seat over one of our tables. And she just puts down the tray of these like ginger cookies, these spiced ginger cookies for you all to enjoy. Well, you came in time for sunrise. Everyone is just sort of getting ready for the celebration. The kids all are saying that they want to stay up all night, but it's probably not going to happen.
Depends. I mean, sometimes it's useful to have them learn the lesson of staying up all night and what that does to you.
Oh no, it's not exactly what I meant. I just figured that most of them will probably tucker out about an hour after midnight.
Ah.
I
That's
try to
fair.
keep it as
We
warm and
appreciate
cozy
your
as.
hospitality.
Oh, you're most welcome. It's nice to see some new faces here. Lavender has been coming down here for the past week, and uh, it's been nice. And seeing her bring down some more new faces just in time to join celebration of the holidays. Well, it's a gift. I don't want to make any of you uncomfortable, but what are you all getting refuge from?
I think mostly the weather.
Mm, there's a look
We
of
were,
relief on
yeah,
her
we
face.
were we were dealing with some snow maidens, and then well, we it's a long story, but we ended up in a castle in the sky. And Lavender was kind enough to guide us down.
Yeah,
So,
Lavender had told us. We were all a little concerned when we saw it appear. This strange little staircase heading up into the sky, and the Lavender came down and took some portraits for us, and she motions to the wall. Lavender, could you describe what some of your portraits look like that they've hung up here for everyone at the table?
Yes. They most of them are just really colorful. They bring out joy in people. Like you, it's Sika, correct?
Yeah.
You see the picture, the portrait of Sika that she's painted, and she's got this smile on her face. There's the colorful, the fires just bright and cheery. They they look really vibrant. Like most of her portraits are just showing how vibrant and joyful everything is, even if it doesn't seem that way, especially in this cold winter wasteland.
Okay. So big bright colors. I'm hearing a lot of big
Yes.
brights, a lot of the boisterous colors.
Mm.
Yeah.
if you can't tell from Sita's outfit, she's all about, or Geeta's outfit. Goodness, too many similar named characters. Um, she's all about it. She loves these paintings. She's all about these colors. They are very much her jam.
I'm just wearing black until they make something darker. No.
I will say this in order to address our first folklore awakening. You're kind of, I'm going to say this. Horus, you notice outside one of the windows, there's a group of rather frustrated individuals out on the ice that have, what look to be like the kinds of tools that you use for like pole punching. And they're just like trying to like punch into the ice nearby, and they are struggling. And they're talking, they're going back and forth, like while everyone else around, is like putting blankets on the floor, beating in piles, like getting like everyone's getting ready to celebrate an indoor holiday for sunrise, right? But these people, they look pressed. What would you like to do?
I will gather my new apprentice, apparently Oken, because Oken said it. And we will head out to see what is causing them duress.
Okay. Lavender and Geeta, do you stay
So.
inside or do you go with your friends outside?
I'm willing to join them and explore.
Okay. All right.
I'm letting
Okay,
them know we're not
so
really going to exploring. We're just going to be asking like if there's anything we can do to help with this particular situation.
Fair enough.
I was in the middle of drawing Horus, so I have to follow because I was in the middle of art, and
Yeah.
you can't stop
Okay.
my art.
Sure.
So you're just like following him with the canvas in one wing hand and the brush in the other, and you're just like sketching,
Yeah, I think
following
I
the
shoved some
subject.
cookies in my pocket before.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. um, so out on the ice, these, it's a group of people. It's a mixture of seals and wolves and polar bears. And Yura is out there, the one that you just met, and they just look frustrated. They were like, "I'm telling you, this is the lake that doesn't thaw. It doesn't matter how warm it's going to get. We're not going to be able to puncture through the ice. And you hear that as you all walk up. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Greetings.
It seems that this matter is causing a bit of an issue, or no?
Well, they don't believe me. They don't believe in the old stories. And this kind of like crabby seal is like, look, we have been puncturing holes to go ice fishing and feed this community for decades. There is no reason why this particular part of the ice should not be able to be punctured any more than that part of the ice. I can hear massive fish down here. Like there's a whole catch. Now,
Have you tried using the drill?
I mean, who has a drill?
Ice fishers.
The another one of the wolf ice fishers is like, he's pulling your leg. We do have a drill, but the problem is we have a limited number of them, and every single time we try to drill here, it breaks it.
Oh.
Perhaps
See,
the small and
go ahead.
forgotten gods do not permit it. Maybe the whale giants don't permit it.
Yuka's like, I wonder if there's any way to find out for sure.
I could try something. It worked last time. Maybe it'll work again.
Oh, I mean, we would really appreciate it. Siku is our spirit speaker, but she's so busy like cooking and feeding everyone. We would really appreciate it.
Well, the last time I did this was on a boat for entertainment, but a whale, I think it was a whale giant that seemed to really like it. And she does a little twirl and she starts doing like a little jig and she goes, got a whale of a tale to tell you lies, a whale of a tale or two, about the flapping fish and the girls I loved on nights like this with the moon above. Whale of a tale and it's all true, I swear by my tattoo. And then she just kind of pauses and waits to see what happens.
Would you like to spend a token?
I would.
Okay, all right. What move would you like to use to empower your song?
I think I'm going to listen to the shared wisdom of the small and forgotten gods in this area, because I think
Okay.
that's what we're trying to figure out is if this ice is like not permitted to be impacted by said small and forgotten gods.
Okay. Uh so uh you hear kind of like a rumbling sound. And the sound coming from one of the nearby ice houses. And you hear people being like, "Oh my gosh, is that a whale giant? Oh my god, everybody get your lures out, get your lures out." Whoa. And
Well,
then Yuka immediately starts moving over to that ice house. Do you all join?
I Geeta's like, well, I did it again, and she starts running because she's like, oh god, I hope I didn't break something in that process.
Uh, when you arrive in this ice house, you see everybody is just kind of backed up away from this hole that has been cracked wider. And the face of this massive humpback whale just kind of pokes out of the water. Its big
Sorry.
eye looking at you.
Yeah, I feel like Geeta runs and she's like, oh, sorry.
You call?
Oh, I wasn't expecting to talk to you. We had questions about the ice in the lake, and we thought maybe one part of it you did not permit us to make holes in, and I just thought I would ask.
So, the second half of this move is the table tells you what they say. So, Oken, Horus, and Lavender, my fellow players, what does the whale giant tell Geeta about the lake that will not thaw? You get to make it up.
I'm gonna say that the whale giant says that something happened and these people are unworthy this year. There's a conflict or something needs to be resolved, and it's made them unworthy.
Lavender, Horus, is there anything that you would like to add?
There's a conflict that needs to be resolved. I'm gonna build on that conflict because I like conflict. Conflict is fun. I'm gonna say that some of the monarchists made a pact with an old god, and they're not monarchists, so they don't get to drill here.
Oh, okay. Lavender, is there anything that you would like to add on to this that the whale giant shares with Geeta and the rest of the community?
That the journey to being able to allow to drill into the ice is um I don't know, that the journey is just, I'm trying to build off the other two and not doing so well.
That's okay. If you don't have anything, that's cool.
I had something and it was just slipped out of my brain.
Sometimes it floats away, and that's fine.
No, actually, you know what? The journey that you're undergoing to do this task is going to teach you everything you need to know about it.
Oh, it just.
I don't know.
I wish you the best of luck. The offerings that those who kneel to crowns offered the old gods of this place was significant. My people
Okay.
can't even swim through there. It is a solid block of ice.
Okay. Uh, well, Geeta scratches the back of her head, and she looks around at everybody else. What do we do? I mean, we could just not drill there, right? Is that okay?
I mean,
I looked at the locals and was like, is it essential that they drill there? Have they exhausted fishing other places? Or is it like they want to drill there? And that is the point.
we just want to drill there. We have more and more people coming every day, and it would just be a little easier to continue our fishing if we could drill out in that area. But if there's one thing that the people here are not going to do is capitulate to crowns. At the
Yeah.
very least, we've got the printing press here. We have zines going all over Haeth. The spirit of the rebellion is still alive here, and that means we have to live next to a solid block of ice we can't drill into. Then that is just a price that we're just going to have to pay. And you see the whale giant. Thank you for your song. And
You're
goes
welcome.
deeper into the water. Is there anything else the group would like to do? Any other moves, questions they want to ask of the community?
Yeah, actually, now that we know there's like a level of conflict about it, and like, I assume we'll be here for a couple days, it sounds like, right?
Yeah.
We'll be here for a while. After the news kind of disseminates, I want to get people's opinions on what should be happening. Because you said there's like different types of rebels here. So I'm assuming there's strong, staunch people that are like, we're not going to drill, and people that are like, well, let's find a way to make amends and figure it out. I assume it kind of splits the community some, right?
Yeah, it does split the community a little bit. Some people are like, well, we've got to find a way to like, there's got to be some way to appease them without, there has to be something, an offering greater than whatever the king of the floating mountain and his compatriots offered here. While others are just like, oh, well, if the spirits are going to be like that, we don't need them. And that's kind of the vibe that you're getting throughout the day, talking to different people. The kids, I will say this, Oken, the kids here are all pretty convinced. They have like a very different perspective. The kids here are all pretty convinced that they could offer the gods something to let them drill. They're optimistic about it. The way kids are, like they know that spirits are special and spirits like offerings, and all you have to do is offer them something different or offer them something better. So there's like an air of play and optimism amongst the children in the community. What the two of you want to do with that information as the festivities start ramping up?
I want to know what the heck could be better. What's out there that could be better? What do we need to find?
Are there any moves that you would like to make?
I would ask some of the more learned. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mark. I apologize.
Yeah. Mark, is there any of the moves that you would like to make to kind of push that forward?
Let's see. Sure, yeah. Listen to the shared wisdom of the small forgotten gods. Ask what the table what to tell you. Same kind of thing. Yeah, before.
Same kind of thing. Okay. How do you want to do that in the narrative? Do you go out to the unthawed lake with Knock and just kind of like listen?
Yeah, I take a bunch of the other kids with me.
Okay, so you and the kids go out into the unfrozen lake, and Knock kind of spins around you, and you close your eyes and you just listen. And Knock says, "Don't worry, I'll translate for you." And he spins around. So, my fellow players, as Knock and all of the kids of Frostwatch are in the middle of this unthawable lake, Knock translating the many voices coming from deep in the ice. Are you asking them what offering would be enough? Are you asking what the offering was? What specifically are you looking for? Is Oken trying to find out?
What would be enough?
What would be enough?
Be worthy, I guess, yeah.
Okay. So as Knock and Oken retreat into this kind of otherworldly liminal space, what do the gods say?
I think that it's kind of a vague answer, but it's that they want something that's really old and has a lot of value. It's something that This is why they wanted the royalists to be able to drill it, because they usually hold on to everything that's old and of value. So the Blake wants something else old and valuable, um, something, some kind of artifact.
Geeta and Horus, is there anything that you would like to build onto that? Maybe there's more than one kind of spirit. You know what? Maybe you're answered by 3 gods. A god of wind, a god of frost, and a god of water. So what I will say is that the god of frost is what tells you about the artifact. What does the god of water say? We're going to do a slice of irony here. Geeta. Since Geeta's so tied to fire, I think it would be thematically appropriate for you to give the water answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Geeta, well, not Geeta, but like I think the god of water says that things do flow and change, and if monarchy is not present here, then perhaps one of the offerings is something to show that the tides have changed, something colorful, something informative, maybe even a zine.
Okay. And Horus, what do you believe the gods of, we said water, we said frost, wind, what do the gods of wind say?
I think the gods of wind say that they do. So this is a castle. How's it adorned? This is like a bastion.
So
how
it's
is it
like
adorned?
a tower.
Are there a lot of banners flying? Are there no banners flying?
No,
is this a case
there's not
of
a lot of
like,
banners. There's like maybe one. There's
lots of songs all the time, not many songs. Like what is carried on the wind around here? Or is it like
so
very
carried on the wind
silent?
is a lot of songs, the smells of cooked food. You know, it's a tower, not a palace. So it's like a big tower and then a bunch of like ice houses and then one large ice house connected to the tower. And that's what the compound looks like. So it's like a big, and you know, so it's like a combination of the ice house, a refuge, and the tower all together into one place that people can hide from the weather and politics they don't like, essentially. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I can hear you, Paul.
They're going to lament the fact that banners no longer fly.
Okay. You and the kids hear all of these different things. And there is an air of excitement around you, Oken, as you come back to consciousness, as you come back to the world. And I will say this, as you and the kids make your way back into the community, the kids
all the kids heard this.
Oh, you know what? You make a valid point. When you come back to, the kids ask, "What did you hear? What? Like we saw you, like your eyes went white. It was so cool. Yeah, what happened? You started to glow and float in the air, and like, what happened?"
As the chosen one, I've received the messages from the 3 gods of wind, earth, and noise, and they told me we need to steal something rich from the rich people, something really nice and cool, and we need to steal some zines and maybe throw them off the tower and then put some flags up the tower. The rich thing, expensive thing, we still needs to be sacrificed, so we can just smash it, I guess.
Oh no. Everyone froze on me. Hold on a second.
Uh-oh.
I'm back. Can y'all hear me?
Yay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So you told the kids
Mm-hmm.
you need to steal something from rich people,
Yeah.
get some zines, and maybe throw them off the tower
Mm-hmm. In the wind.
in the wind, and then fly some banners
Mm-hmm.
off the tower.
Yeah. Ooh, like, we're gonna do like, like kid banners with like glitter and glue and like
Right. Right.
whatever else kids do. I don't know.
Yeah. No. Painted fabric.
Yeah.
Stitched together fabric with basic stitches. Because
Real little rascals kind of vibe.
yeah. Okay. So the kids of Frostwatch swarm back into the community kind of all at once. And it's definitely something that you all kind of catch. As this is all going on, and the children essentially use the celebration of sunrise as cover for all of these shenanigans. You are up in the tower speaking to Ulf. Ulf is an old wolf that lives in the tower. He is a community elder. He's the tower keeper, and he also runs the print shop that prints all the zines. Um, and everyone keeps pointing you to him because he's like the oldest and the wisest amongst them. And what are you asking him while you are all up at the top of the tower amongst the printing press? He's kind of offered you some hot chocolate up there to chit chat.
Weirdly, I'm going to ask for some of the history of the tower. I would think.
Yeah. He's
Like,
like
how long has this been here doing this? How long has this been here doing that? What is your take on this particular thing?
Yeah, he's.
I don't know if Oken shared his vision. Doesn't sound like Oken did, which is very Oken to do. Like, why would I share my vision?
Why would I share my vision? Yeah. Wolf is like, oh, well, the tower was originally here as waypoint, to kind of, it's in the northernmost region of Haeth, and the people here have always been, under self-rule, even back in they essentially been independent since the days of the last empress. So this was an ideal place for the rebellion to kind of take up. Um, and we set up the print shop here, and we had been coordinating in secret, well, during the war, in secret, with various members of the rebellion that had infiltrated the Order of Moth Tenders. So, it's how we managed to distribute all of our literature, all of our zines. Anybody who had gotten, functioned as a safe house for people to retreat back to if they ever got caught during any, uh, spy operations and whatnot. And we've just been taking people in from the cold, both the cold of kings and fascists and the cold of the weather for better part of 100 years. The war we just fought wasn't Hyde's first war. There's been other wars, and this place has stood the test of time and will continue to stand the test of
Think I think he's going to ask where other records he can do research on are.
Yeah.
To look into, like, maybe even the history before it was part of this rebel movement.
Yeah.
Would be his next step.
So he leads you into like a corner, into a floor of the tower that is a library. Just a massive library filled with scrolls and books, magazines, periodicals, zines, just all over the place. And I will say this: you do find a bunch of banners, but not monarchist ones. A bunch of old rebellion banners, the kind like battle flags, celebration banners, all decorated with purple orchids, or they're solid purple with like the orchid like stitched embroidered onto it or applique on it. They're all like they're just you just find all these pieces of art and they're all in like one corner on a wall, just sort of rolled up, or some of them are on display. And he's not paying them any mind. They're just in the corner and they're part of the library.
Okay. Um, I don't know if Oken says anything about him, but if Oken does, I'll listen. If Oken doesn't, then I'll be like, okay, whatever. But let's see. No, he'll mostly want to look at like old bargains, old bargains or records of old bargains or things of that nature is probably what he's going to focus on in his record keeping. Or if he finds anything weird that totally stands out that like feels like it shouldn't be there, he'll also look for that.
One of the things that
That's always interesting.
Yeah, would you like to spend any of your tokens on this?
Yeah. I don't know exactly what move I would do to find something hidden or something out of place. I don't exactly know what move I should do for that.
There is a move that says you can spend a token to solve an immediate or material problem. It's very vague for this
very vague
exact reason. It's vague on purpose.
Yeah, if that is what the good usage of that would be, then I will defer to that.
Okay.
And do that.
You spend a token and you're looking through the library, looking through things, and I encourage you. What do you find that like causes your firelight to just shine bright when you find it? That feels like it could definitely be a way to get this link to solve. You find an old pack?
It's probably one of those moments where he opens up and looks through it to see if he can understand it 1st. If not,
little montage
I will
just kind of flowing through, flipping through these books.
Yeah. Can you repeat that? I missed it real quick. Sorry.
No worries. I was going to say you're flipping through the books, and I was pitching it back to you. You do find something that could make this lake thaw, at least for a little while. I'm asking you, what do you find? It's in these books.
Who is the most moderate person here? Like the middle ground, the peacekeeper? Because like I said, there's multiple factions, rebels, or people who are whatever about it, or people who are upset about it. Who's the person in town that's kind of like the what's up?
It would be Siku, the spirit speaker.
I'll bring it to the spirit speaker's attention. I'll bring the book. If I can bring the book out of the library, I'll bring it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I can't bring it out of the library,
then I'll let you bring it out of the library. He's like, no, go ahead.
The spirit speaker up here. Because some librarians don't let you bring their books up to the library. They're very angry about that.
He's just like, just make sure you bring it back.
Sure.
You head down from the tower, and I'm going to make a move as the place where I bring up concerns regarding structural stability, and you feel a little weird as you're like heading down, and the tower kind of creaks on the inside, giving you a little bit of a fright. But you do eventually get to Siku, and you bring her the book. However, we're in our final moments with our amazing dancer, Geeta. Because, unfortunately, real life comes first, and the amazing Leona has to go to work. Geeta, before the spotlight leaves your character, what is the last thing that Geeta does here in this place, celebrating sunrise, with her friends. Let's do a little flash.
Um,
What's the last thing that you do? Is there any
I
moves you want to do?
let me see. I don't know if there's a particular move that she wants to do, but I do think that Geeta will, for her final moments, will do something that she always does, which is dance. And so I think she'll probably like find a really solid spot on the ice and just go and dance. And invite anyone who wants to join her to join her.
Okay.
Oken will
And
join.
Yeah.
yeah, Oken uh, joins you. The kids join you. People in the community join you. And for the rest of sunrise, you lead people, fun, and beautiful dances. And in the morning, you wake up with your friends. And sunrise is already past. And that's okay, because not everybody stays up all night. And Geeta has had plenty of nights where she has stayed up all night. She deserves a little bit of rest. And with that, we're going to take a break. We're going to say farewell to Leona. And when we get back, we are going to have Horus and Siku look at the book. Hello, everyone. We are back. We have wrapped up Geeta's arc, but our journey hasn't concluded yet. We have 3 more travelers. We have more story to tell. So, inside of the ice house, the big ice house, at the very least, the one next to the tower, Siku, I know I said Sika earlier, but it's Siku. Siku and Horus have met up, and she says, "Oh, you have something you wanted to show me, Horus."
yes, there seems to be hinting at the things that the monarchy had signed to allow them exclusive rights to that area of the ice, and also why they wanted exclusive rights to that area of the ice. It wasn't just for the fishing. It seems there were minerals there to be mined
Oh,
under that particular block of ice.
oh,
They
like
wanted to stop other people from harnessing that so that they could monopolize that particular statement. And there seems to be formation of this, and he points like to the passages, and it's basically set up in a very poem or poetic format where it talks about the banner should fly in the wind, and as long as this item sits where it's supposed to be, and those of the appropriate, like, it hints at a lot of the things that Oken got from the old one. It's like
right,
set in a
yeah.
very poetic format that covers, and as long as these things all remain, the ice will be farmable by those of noble lineage type situation. Which does, my character points at the fact that if you have somebody here if you do all these things and you have someone here who's a noble who's forsaken like the nobility, you should be able to harvest what's under there, but it's not going to be fish. I don't know how useful that is now, but I'm sure, there are probably some fish on the way, but they look like they were mining something here.
Right. Well, I can say this. Banners, I think we can do. There's a bunch of old Orchid Rebellion banners that, when the war ended, we didn't see any point in flying them anymore. So we just kind of left them in the old library. Did you see them by chance? They're still there, right?
Yeah, I noticed them. I didn't. Yeah, I noticed them.
Yeah.
Those would probably fly in the wind.
Yeah, no. Once there was a call for peace, we put them all away because we didn't feel there was any need for them anymore. And
I mean, you could also make new banners if you wanted and put different bannerage there. It didn't say they had to be war banners. You don't have to take a war footing.
That's true, but
you could put some celebratory banners up.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. But at the very least, at least we have some that we can fly until we make some new ones. Also, I'm not piece of jewelry of office.
Mm-hmm.
Really sure where we could find one of those, but I could look around and see if Wolf has something that was maybe liberated.
Jewelry of office could be a scepter, a pin, a medallion. Doesn't necessarily have to be the highest jewelry of office. You could, if somebody has, let's say, hand of the king or something like that, or a scepter, or even a mitre or a religious symbol of office would not be
maybe
invalid.
A ring.
A ring, correct. Signet ring would be a symbol of office.
Yeah.
So even if it's not a signet ring of the monarchy, if you are sealing things as the village is the spiritual elder, putting that in the appropriate position would help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Then it says it needs something written. Huh.
Do you have a constitution or a decree of independence? That might work in that stead.
We have plenty of community manifestos that we abide by amongst the zines. And it's at this point you notice like kids are running around, have kind of poured in, and they're all starting to make things. Oken, what is the first thing that you do? Do you like check in with your friends at any moment, or are you just going straight to your like orphan rebellion plan?
I think they're all kind of checking in with Oken, actually. They're like updating Oken as they kind of move around, and any
nice
problems or successes, they're kind of telling Oken. Oken's like, very good, very good.
Yeah,
I think we made a massive miscalculation that Oken is a royalist. It seems he's referred to us as our subjects. He's managing this thing. Clearly a staunch member of the monarchy. I'm just pointing this out.
I say when we talk about us to other kids, I'm like Oken and the others. So it's not always like my vassals. Sometimes it's like it's me.
You straight up called us vassals at the start of the stream.
Yeah, subjects. Yeah. It was these are my subjects. Oh, great. Lots of kids are coming up to you, Lavender, and asking for help painting things and sewing things. They all seem really obsessed with making banners.
Okay, I think I was painting, like trying to paint the lake, and the kids just keep coming up to me asking me to paint stuff.
Right. Yes.
And I'm about the 7th or 8th time of getting interrupted. I'm just going to ask them, is this a project?
Oh, yes. We're going to thaw the lake.
How are you thawing the lake?
Well, we have to fly banners, and then we have to get a bunch of the zines and throw them off the tower into the air. And what's the other thing that Oken said we had to do? It's like, we have to steal something from rich people. But nobody's rich here, so we haven't quite figured out how we're going to do that.
This is a really interesting plan.
If we do it, it'll make the spirits happy, and then the lake will thaw.
Oh, do you need my help with this?
Would you be willing to help us?
Yeah. Yeah, and I like grab a cookie from my pocket and I'm like munching on it as I'm talking to the kids. Yeah, what do you need me to do?
Well, you can paint really well, so we're trying to make a bunch of banners. And also, like, do you know any rich people? You came from a castle in the sky. Is there anything that you could steal from the palace up there?
If I can get back up there, I can see what I can steal. Um, Who's in charge of this idea?
Oh, we'll take you. And they both take you by the hand and they lead you over to Oken. It's like, we've recruited one of the grown-ups, and they put their paws on their hips as they brought over Lavender, and they look really proud of themselves.
Oh, Lavender. Happy to see you.
Hi, yeah, they recruited me to help steal something and paint and a lot of other things.
Oh, right, because you're a painter. You're a really good painter.
Hmm?
Yeah, just follow the directions and you should be good.
I would like to I'm gonna trap them inside with the threat of harsh conditions, as all of a sudden there is just a cold gust of wind, flurries of snow, and everybody just starts scattering into buildings. Um, and the three of you, with a bunch of people, uh, are all kind of together once more, waiting out this sudden inclement weather. Is there anything that the three of you say to each other as you're taking refuge from this very sudden onset of bad weather?
So, Oken, what did you need from the castle?
Well, from the tower, we needed banners.
Well, the
Probably
kids wanted me to go to the castle and steal something.
Oh, the castle in the sky. Right, right, right. We need a very important artifact from something, somewhere expensive and valuable, maybe, and then we're gonna sacrifice it.
If I can get back up there, I'll get it for you, but I don't know. That staircase kind of disappears sometimes.
But it doesn't need to be from the castle. Maybe that's too far. I think it needs to be local, because these are like local gods we're dealing with, you know.
I keep a look on my face, and I'm like, Oken, what have you been up to today?
I've pretty much been leading my subjects, because I'm the bravest and best.
Mm-hmm.
I told them I'm the hero of the lost caravan, which is true in some
Sure.
Your
ways.
subjects?
Apparently, I'm gonna light a candle at this point in time and use candle 1 so that no one can overhear our conversation
Oh,
because
God.
there are people. And I will be actually like responsible. Apparently, Oken is a staunch monarchist, and we were unaware of this.
He just likes playing pretend. That's what Knox says.
Sure.
That's good because I don't do well around monarchists.
Yeah.
I'm not a monarchist.
I mean, you have subjects. That's what monarchists have.
Well, artists have subjects.
No, most other people have constituents, but we can discuss the details and differences of those particular social, political, economic groups moving forward. Have you found out anything that's been going on? And I don't. Why are we, Lavender? What are we looking to steal, and why? I look very confused.
Some kind of valuable artifact. I don't know how the kid said we needed it to melt the lake.
Oh, I mean, it doesn't. Okay. I found the records of what the monarchists did here. It doesn't melt the lake. It allows those of the appropriate station to drill into the lake. Not necessarily melt it. It is a bargain and a pact. We all know how those things can work sometimes. But it's probably not going to be much fishing under there. Apparently, there is something to be mined there.
What's this station?
Mhm.
Station?
Oh,
Station.
it's like a hierarchy. It's like a position.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the station that we need to get under there?
One of leadership. I was actually speaking to the spiritual elder of the village. Apparently, there's idea that the signet ring or the ring of office that would be used for their position would possibly work. But we also need banners, and we have to place positionally in a position that can be read effectively the manifestos around here, so that it's known what the laws and the rules and the wants and the intentions of the people that live here are. Basically, currently the tower doesn't fulfill any of the requirements to allow it to be dug here, if that to be dug into for the mining purposes, if that makes any sort of sense.
That is really annoying.
Well, yes, it makes sense though. If they're trying to prevent people from mining whatever material is down there, that would be really hard to do. It means if you captured the land and didn't do everything appropriately, you wouldn't be able to mine the resource. Seems
But you really
pretty...
shouldn't be able to capture land. It's land.
I hear and don't disagree with what you are saying, but now we're getting into the difference between different factions and how they feel about nature and what you can do with it.
Wasn't there a whole war that we fought, that you all fought?
There was a war that was fought. I did not fight in it, but I was present for it.
Okay, just maybe there's another solution.
I mean,
Knock speaks up and says, "This sounds very similar to what you found out, Oken."
It does. Tell them what we found out.
Okay. And Knock sort of spins, floats, flies around the three of you. And all of you just sort of feel this intense, vivid revelation that is flashed into your mind of exactly what Oken experienced in the heart of the lake. Not Oken's interpretation of it, but what the actual three gods said.
Okay. I take it aligns pretty closely with what we figured out.
Yeah, it's very, very close. It's very close. Like, it's more clear than the poem because we were building off of it. Because this is like more from the source. So now it kind of, like, when you have this revelation, it kind of makes sense why the children believed that it would thaw the lake. Because the gods didn't say anything about what was underneath it. They just talked about, oh, this is the deal that was made. This is what would make this water again. Like, so you kind of got like two pieces, right? You got, what you got was the perspective of the people that made this pact. What Oken got was the perspective of the gods that made this pact. Does that make sense? Like, they don't see it the same way.
Yeah, the reason for it on either side is very different, but the outcome is X, Y. I have the motivations of the people. He has the motivations of the small gods. And somewhere in the middle of that is, oh, this is why both sides agreed to this thing.
Yeah, it was really, and this is something that kind of hits the two of you, where this is really about offerings, right? This is really about the spirits. Really, they want the ideas, right? Like the flying of the banners, the manifesto, the relic. There is something really powerful about these offerings. And at that point, you do hear a voice, Knock's voice in your mind. Okay. And Knock says, you could use the ring. It comes from the king.
Isn't it dangerous? I want to just get everybody killed, and then it'll be my fault, and everyone can be mad at me.
No, that's not what I meant. I just thought it might be what the spirits want. I don't think they would let the things go.
I mean, it's worth a shot.
If you don't think it's a good idea, never mind. I just worry about those things being around you all the time. It's really scary. I can hear them.
Whenever I hear them, I just kind of change my mind, think about something else. But I think it's, yeah, we can do it. I think we can do it.
Should we tell them? It's not my secret to tell. It's yours.
I mean, yeah, okay.
And then time resumes. I want to say for narrative purposes, the two of you were frozen while this conversation was going on. But you do get the sense that time went whoop, because you both have magic, and something just went boop, boop, like
Something has messed with the time stream.
something has messed with the time stream. Something messed with time. You can both sense that.
The doctor is here. We need to be careful.
Not again.
Not again.
Well, now's as good a time as any to tell you guys that I carry the ring of 99 vengeful demons from beneath the floating mountain, or actually the king of the floating mountains ring, his greatest treasure of all time. But I don't know. They just kind of whispered me to be released, and I'm like, vengeance, no. And they're like, yeah, vengeance.
Does it like whisper just randomly or like specific times?
Like all the time. They take turns, you know.
I'm able to, myself and Echo were able to shield their dreams from them because they're really powerful in dreams when they're asleep. Echo, but Echo hasn't been traveling with us for some time, so it's kind of just been me. We're
It
really
sounds like a
sorry.
lot of work.
We're really sorry we kept this from you, Horus, but it wasn't my secret to tell, and Oken has a right to keep secrets when they want to.
All right, then. I look a little, I usually pretty unflappable. I look a little flapped. Like, demon rings, not exactly in my wheelhouse.
I just didn't want you guys to worry too much and be scared and all that, be worried about me.
But it's a relic. It's a relic straight from a king, and it could be used in the offering.
It could be.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Is it? I guess my question would be: I turned actually to the spirit, not actually to Oken, because the spirit will probably have the answer to this question more than Oken will. If we were to use it as the item, would it be dangerous if left here in that position? Would we be putting the people here in more danger by leaving it here, or would it be only problematic if somebody picks it back up again and starts to engage with it?
If they pick it back up again, because Oken has a good heart, so they don't want to let them go. But if somebody that is maybe in pain or and has been perhaps poisoned by struggle in some way because of the war, they might be able to be convinced to let them go.
My large concern is if somebody were to randomly engage with the ring, is it going to let forth these beings here, and does it put people here in danger? That would be my only major concern.
That's what Oken is concerned about, and I cannot give you a guarantee.
I can barely hear you, Hector. Sorry.
Oken is concerned about that. I can't really give you a full answer. I'm not sure if this ritual destroys the item. The spirits made it seem like it does. or seals the item away or keeps it in stasis.
So
I will.
go ahead. Okay.
I was gonna be
I
like,
just
I mean, nope. Go ahead.
What?
sorry. I painted a picture of the lake, and sometimes my picture reveal things.
Oh,
I'm usually able to bring out the truth of a subject. You said subject, and yeah, I have subjects, but they're not
right.
royal subjects. They're like painting subjects, which is different
Yes.
because I don't have any power over them.
Ah, okay. Is that one of your moves as the canvas?
But yeah, you're able to bring out the truth of a subject you capture, and then there's it says pick one that you bring out in a piece and one that you realize in yourself, and two they can learn about you.
Oh, nice.
So I'm thinking it would be a truth behind a facade
Mm-hmm.
and um a forgotten joy, I guess. Because I've already used forgotten joy earlier.
Right. So, a truth behind a facade. It's at this point that the painting reveals something, and you get a little bit of a piece of deja vu back to earlier in the day when the old man said, I can hear them. There's schools of fish down there. And the painting reveals an army of fish daemons coming out of the lake, wielding all a manner of hooked blades, all of them with the symbol of the king of the floating mountain painted on the swords, getting ready to attack. As you reveal that the thing that is sealed down there is an army of fish daemons, similar to what's imprisoned in the ring.
I don't know if we want to melt it or get down there.
I imagine they're maybe like encased in a valuable something, which is why there's kind of like the mining thing. It's
In case under the ice.
like encased in like I don't know, gold or crystal or something. Like if you mine too much, like kind of like a Balrog, like we mine too much and there's a fucking Balrog at the bottom of the lava pit. Sorry, F word. But it's the same thing where it's like,
Right.
oh, these demons are encased in this whatever. If we unfreeze the lake and drill into we mine too much, these demons are gonna come out and kill us. Is my opinion.
All right. Well, maybe we should probably bring this to the attention of the local spiritual individual because releasing an army of anything is probably a bad idea.
I'm gonna kind of flash forward to the library of the tower. Ulf is there, and Siku is there. The three of you are there with the canvas and the book, and are like, oh, so the resource that's underneath the ice is holding an army of daemons.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Huh.
Seems as so. At least from everything we've been able to put together.
Oh. Okay. So we're probably going to want to leave that lake frozen then.
Yes, I would probably find ways to make sure you don't ever accidentally unfreeze the lake.
Yeah. Ulf is like, can we keep this painting, Lavender, just so that
Yeah.
we could. I think I'm going to try and see if I can duplicate it on the printing press.
Do you want me to paint it
Uh,
again for you?
I- we're going to put together a pamphlet, at least for the community,
Okay.
to let them know why the lake has to stay frozen, because we can't unleash, like, we've dealt with demons before, don't get it twisted, like, it's the risk. Fishing is risky because one out of 10 times you're going to run into a trickster spirit of some kind, but a whole army of them, oh, that totally explains why the, oh, that totally explains why old Taku could hear them. It's so strange. Do you think they're moving in the ice?
Probably.
Huh.
I
Most
mean, ice
definitely.
is moving always anyway. You just can't see it move.
Right. Do you think there's some way that they could be banished?
I don't know.
Hmm.
Well, the ring I carry holds 99 spirits. There may be a way to open up the seal and banish them into there.
Huh.
And I say spirits, I mean evil, vengeful demons.
Is that something that you'd be willing to risk to remove them from the community?
I mean, in the long run, I guess if it helps you get whatever's underneath, and it could be really helpful to have the wealth, it could be good.
Hmm.
And I feel like eventually they're gonna get out some way or another, right? When you least suspect it, that kind of thing.
Wolf is like nothing is inevitable. Not in this world. Everyone thought that the divine right of kings was inevitable. And look what happened to that. If you would be willing to do this favor for our community, we would appreciate it. But it's not required. It's our problem to deal with. Why don't you all have a meal and think on it? Okay?
I'm pretty
Sure.
hungry.
So, the three of you are given a late afternoon meal, early evening meal of fresh fish uh, and bread, more cookies, and the three of you are at the table with Knock, just kind of hovering on your shoulder. Than has come out and is kind of floating around because it's getting later in the afternoon. The sky isn't as bright, and Than's starting to wake up. So, what do the three of you discuss at the table?
How exactly does that ring work? Is this a case of it's a prison or it's a punishment or you could add more spirits to it or you can control what's in there or is it just you're not sure?
I know I can't control what's in there. I'm not sure if it's like a direct prison or a seal or if it opens up a portal somewhere else, but they're in there and they're mad.
Yeah, they're very mad and they really want to be out of there.
So, is there some other way to trap them? what did you call her? Azalea told me that you all burned a paint of tapestry.
Oh, that was different. The tapestry was like a prison outside of time.
Oh, okay. So that's kind of hard to create.
Captured a moment. If you really, really wanted to open up the ring and draw in the spirits and the ice, I can help you. Just know that it'll be dangerous and scary. But I won't let them harm you.
Hmm.
Is there a way to destroy the ring after that happens?
I don't know if the ring can be destroyed.
Well, the question of being scary, I'm not scared.
Look, the three of you are some of the most powerful, magical travelers in all of Haeth. And I say that as one of the many, many gods that inhabit this world. If the three of you wish it and are willing to lean in to the power that the gods have given you, you can accomplish this. But remember, the people here have said that you don't have to. Not every problem and every place we visit has to be solved.
It's also not always our place to solve their problems.
Exactly. Take a token for speaking your truth on a subject.
Okay. No problem. We can do something that is asked of us, but it is not our job. If it is not our job to fix their issue, especially if they wish to maintain it or do what they are going to do with it. We have done our duty in showing them what is there and revealing the truth. That was very important because if they had found a way to open it without realizing what was there, that would be a larger issue.
Mhm.
But if their decision is to just leave it sealed, and then they'll leave it sealed.
The people here are very kind, and they don't want you to put your lives on the line for them. And that has value. You know?
But are
I
they going
make
to be okay?
I believe they've been okay beforehand, but now they know not to possibly generate a larger problem, at least.
Mhm.
They were going to keep trying to dig there because they thought it was going to get them more food, and now they know that is not the case. They will put that resources and those efforts someplace else.
Yeah, they wanted to feed everyone. They didn't want gold or silver or an army of spirits.
Will they have enough food?
Mm, I think they will.
They did not say food was getting scarce. They did say there were more people coming, though. And we have no reason to not take them at their word.
At this point, I would like to bring in our second folklore. As you all hear footsteps up above you and the stairs in the tower, you're in the long ice house, the long building that's right next to the tower, and you could hear footsteps going up the rickety staircase. But you all know that no one is up there. You just left that staircase to come sit down, and you haven't seen anybody go into those doors the whole conversation you've had. And they're going up the staircase, not down the staircase, because Siku and Ulf were in the library.
You guys hear that?
Y'all expecting somebody?
Than starts glowing and dancing around. And you hear that ghostly whisper in your mind, Horus. One of the restless is here.
Fair enough. That he kind of pulls his hat down a little low and stands up and lets them know that one of the restless dead is here, and it seems like there will be a conversation about that here in the near future. Like, not like upset, but more resigned to that's just kind of the way these things play out. And he will. I can't really communicate. He will follow the footsteps at a respectable distance, not like get right up on it and just immediately interject himself, but he will wait patiently to see what's going to play out, because they might not need his assistance, but he assumes they probably will at some point.
Okay, so you're going to go through.
Huh? Horus, can I tag along?
Yeah, this is a learning experience if you actually want to be an apprentice.
Can I tag along?
I can't stop you. I can let you know if you're causing an issue. I would advise you to listen if I say as much. But I don't tell people when or where to go, with the exception of when they should move on. As long as we're on this plane, you're free to go wherever you need to.
So, Fan, illuminating the way. You all start making your way to the side door, to the spiral staircase. The ghost that walks the stairs awaits and walks. With that, we're going to take our second break. This one will be a little longer. We'll be back in 15 minutes, so a little bit after the hour. And when we return, our travelers will be heading up the stairs, following the path of a ghost. Hello, welcome Raiders, welcome everybody that's joined us. We're back. We're on stream. We're live. We're in charge, and we're going to be doing one more little hour of Wanderhome for you folks. So, our group has spending time in this place called Frostwatch, a refuge for people trying to get away from the weather, trying to get away from monarchy, and a place of revolutionaries and just good folks fishing in the ice and creating home and shelter from the cold elements. So we have uncovered that the thing under the ice is not something that you want unleashed, and that perhaps it should be left alone while you guys were working that out. And you heard footsteps heading up the tower, and Fan, the ghostly firelight, the ghostly firefly of our Firelight, has informed Horus that one of the restless dead is here. The three of you have opened the side door once again and are heading up the shadowy steps of the tower. The steps creak and moan as I'm making the place move. Spread concern around structural stability. There's something unnerving about the way the steps groan as you move and follow this apparition that you have been made aware of. You don't see anything yet because the staircase, spirals upward so that it's the corner. Whatever it is that's up here that you hear ahead is like around several corners. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Eventually, how do you react to this kind of like creaking of the stairs as you're heading up the tower?
I double check to make sure I'm not in the castle again.
Okay, you do. Yep, because the castle's a ruin. There's, you kind of double check and you're just like, nope, this is like a cold gray stone. The castle is all like whitewashed limestone and marble, like even, it's not that. You are definitely in a different place.
Mm-hmm.
Horus, where
Yes.
are we?
I look around to see if we are in the in-between space or not.
You feel like you might be a little bit in the in-between space, and that might be affecting the stairs, and is what making the stairs less stable.
Okay. I inform Lavender, I'm like, we are a bit in between space between this world and the next. It happens sometimes. Especially when there are restless dead about.
So you're totally used to this.
It's a fairly common occurrence.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something that happens every so often to adventurers. You just gotta brave through it,
I like not even meaning to be like it's. I don't want to be like they're coming off unflappable. But yeah, no, that's a thing that they deal with on the regular with everybody.
Well, you both seem to be pretty seasoned travelers.
We spend our time traveling. I spend a bit of my time amongst the dead, so it is not
And Oken too,
uncommon.
right? Oken, you're pretty experienced.
Yeah, yeah. What I lack in experience, I make up for in courage as well.
Eventually you all start to catch up, and the stairs are like continuing like longer than you remember them being.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can see small and in the distance, kind of further up, a shadowy apparition that sort of stops and turns and looks at you all. What, Horus, what kind of ghostly animal folk are we looking at? Are they a seal, a penguin, an orca, polar bear, a wolf, or something else?
I think it's a narwhal because we've had a
Mm,
distinct lack of narwhals in this game.
yes, the
So
narwhal.
I'm gonna go with the narwhal. And I think it's just the upper half of the body. The lower half is kind of like dissipated.
Oh, okay.
It's like in that
Yeah,
half preserved, like ghostly form.
yeah. I think
And
yeah. What is it wearing? Is it wearing like robes?
I think it's got a
Like,
long robe, and what we mistook were footsteps weren't actually footsteps. They were like the clanking of the horn on the stairs. Because
ooh,
it would be like going where it would be footstepping, but it's like banging the horn on the steps in that particular manner that looks at like give the illusion of footsteps, but isn't actually footsteps.
right.
Um,
Pauses, and it
mhm.
looks at the three of you, and there is a feeling of coldness that goes into the three of you, and I'm going to ask the question.
Mhm.
What worries you? Oken, I'm going to start with you. What worries you?
I'm worried that I'm not. It's all internal, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yep.
I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to run away fast enough. That it's going to get up and get me.
Okay. Take a token. Lavender, what worries you?
I am worried that I'm going to end up somewhere and I won't be able to get back to where I consider home. That I won't be able to see those people again. That or I won't be able to see the faces again or hear the voices again that I'm used to.
Take a token. Horus.
Probably Oken at this point in time. Oken's gonna not pick a direction, so I'm hoping this whole apprentice idea sticks. But arguably, that Oken is going to not pick a direction is probably his worry at this point in time.
Definitely take a token. And you all feel those worries well up to the surface as the ghost looks at you, and you just feel kind of your own inner doubt and despair. And worries just kind of come in. What do you do?
Or is he going to put him to rest? Do your thing.
What brings you to my stairs?
These are your stairs?
I have walked them for many a year.
Why?
Gave my life to this place, keeping messages, ensuring they're delivered, caring for the moths.
You know, you've done a lot, haven't you? I mean, you gave your life for this place. And you still remain. The reason why you're still here?
Unfinished business.
Someone has to see to it that the messages are delivered. Someone has to bear witness to all of the people helped here. I can't just let that go.
What's the message?
That everyone should be able to be free. That this is a place of safety far away from those who would hold you in chains. Why are you all here if you are not seeking refuge?
We just like to travel sometimes. Also, it's really cold out.
I'm going to make the move, remind everyone what looms beyond. And the narwhal ghost turns and looks out one of the windows. The tower has these really cool kind of arched windows that kind of face in the outside. and it looks outside and it says, "There is cold, and there is sadness. There are those who do not understand how hard fought this peace is."
What do you think we could do to help them understand? If that'll help you.
I- And they just kind of pause as they're kind of caught off guard by your question. To our Firelight.
I am.
This is above table. What are you just sort of standing there listening, taking all this in? Is there anything that you would like to say? Do you move closer? Than is glowing with his kind of ghostly ghost firelight as at this point night has taken over. Like the only light that is now in this hallway are some light from some sconces, torches and sconces, and fans and knocks. It has gone dark outside, almost as if the ghost was heralding the sundown.
He kind of sits, like not sits. He sits with things, remains standing, and hand on his staff, and he goes, "The purpose of this place is to let everyone know that they have a choice for freedom. The messages you delivered helped everyone know about those choices. You've discussed your duty. What is your desire?"
Oh. No one's ever asked me that.
I'm a Firelight. My job is to ask those things, to find out why you're still here and why you haven't been able to move on.
I think it is because there are still kings that plague this land. I can still see far off in the distance the floating mountain. And I know that as long as those who wear crowns continue, I must stay here. And I must ensure that the letters are sent. And that refuge.
When was the last letter you sent?
I don't remember. Not anymore.
Can I recall who is supposed to be sending letters and sending out messages inside the keep it's themselves?
It's Ulf.
Oh, all right.
The old man wolf.
Okay. He'll take a moment and go, maybe we should talk to those who should be sending letters now. And he will try to guide this person. It will try to guide us, not just the conversation, but like our physical location towards Holt.
Okay. The ghost actually follows you. There's something like hypnotic about Than's light. You know what it is. Like,
yeah.
And the ghost is just sort of following Than, not looking at the rest of you. And Than leads the way, as it's one of the things that Than can do. And you all arrive at the top of the tower, and you see Ulf like at the printing press, printing out some zines, and all of a sudden his breath like starts to come out, and he's like, "Oh, I know that I put fresh coals in the by the small gods." As he just like sees the apparition like come in, and it's just sort of staring at Than, and he's like, "I didn't think that was real. I thought I was imagining things.
No, I believe you have a compatriot to talk to. Do you recognize this narwhal?
No, I don't.
Mm.
Hmm. I I was told by my mentor that about the ghost that walks the stairs, but I'd never actually seen it.
It seems you've taken over some of the duties that keeps this spirit here, and I'm basically going to set it up so they can talk and communicate with each other. Because again, it's my job to guide them to these things, not force them. So this feels like the guidance is to have the narwhal impart the knowledge of what needs to be sent and what needs to be done onto this person more than anything else.
Yeah, you see Ulf and the ghost kind of go to a corner of the place. Um, a bunch of the moths that are up in the rookery, the Arctic moths, like fly down and like land on the ghost's shoulder as if they were solid and just sort of fly around them almost as if the moths know who the ghost is, which also kind of throws Ulf off because he's the one that normally like takes care of them and nobody else lands on no the moths don't land on anyone else like that except for other moth tenders, so he's just kind of he's spoken. So as the three of you are like observing this conversation, what were you how's Oken feeling about this, like seeing this restless spirit, as it were? How does
Um,
Oken feel?
internally pretty scared, but externally trying to keep a brave face. Trying to look like, he knows what's going on when really they don't have a clue about any of this.
I feel sorry for them, Nox says. Their warmth, them sensing your distress and them getting close to you and radiating their warmth.
Why?
Ghosts are different. They're like people. They have, they think like people, but they exist like gods do. And we don't think the same as people. We have always been of the world and not of the world at the same time. And ghosts have to cope with having once been solid. I don't know if I'm making much sense, but I've always been a being of light. And when you spend your life as a person first and then become a being of light, it makes them confused and sad. And that is why I feel sorry for them. Because being a god, being a spirit, it's a beautiful thing. And they can't see the beauty in it, at least not without people like uh, Horus to show them the way. That's why firelights are so important.
Yeah, that's true. Pretty much, they shouldn't have to wander around aimlessly like this, climbing the stairs forever. It's not really fair.
No.
If they're dead, they should be dead, and not like this.
Lavender, are you painting a portrait?
Yes, I am.
Okay. As you paint the portrait and you start revealing the truth, the narwhal just comes to life. They're full of color. They have legs, they have arms. Their robes are an ancient version of the Order of the Moth Tenders uniform. They're animated, they're excited, and Ulf is there interacting with them, and the apparition is radiant and alive with color and the portrait that you're drawing. And the two of you can see what she's doing, and it just really is getting to the core of who this narwhal was. You can see the zines are floating in the air, the moths are flying around, and it's almost like your portrait is moving. And when you look at this portrait, you sense, you know, that after this conversation, that this ghost will finally be ready to move on. Is there anything that you would like to do, Horus, before the conversation between Ulf and the ghost that walks the stairs concludes?
Mostly he'll just observe. Like, I've come to the consensus that Horus doesn't, if Horus knows that something needs to be done, he just facilitates it. He's a very big facilitator, and the idea that he should interject doesn't actually help. It refocuses what's going on him and not what needs to be done.
Absolutely.
So he is very good to just sit there and let it play out to a degree.
Ulf and the ghost finish talking. The ghost turns and floats over to the three of you. I believe I'm ready. Could you lead the way down the stairs for me one last time? I would like to feel the steps on my feet before I leave this place.
He will nod and try to do his best to facilitate that, which I assume I need to do a move for. No.
Or you could ask Than.
Yeah, I will ask Than.
Than nods, and you start heading down the stairs, Than floating and flying in front of you. And Than opens a portal, a bridge to the other world. You see a gateway appear and replace the door at the bottom of the stairs. The ghost, as he walks, becomes more full, more real, more alive. And you actually hear the steps instead of the horn hitting the front of the
clanking.
No, yeah, instead of the horn clanking, it's now actual footsteps. And you feel warm and kind hands, the hands of ink stained hands, just sort of move in between the three of you as they smile at you. And that vision in the portrait that you created, Lavender, starts to, you see it as he gets closer to the pale light in the gateway to the world beyond. And he says, "Thank you."
Of course.
My name is Ulysses.
Nice to meet you, Ulysses.
It was an honor to meet you all. May Frostwatch always be a refuge to all of you. And he goes through the gate. You all have a moment as the ghostly pale light shines on the three of you in the hallway. And Than asks a question of the three of you. Is there anyone in this moment that you have lost that you would like to see again before sunrise comes? And it's nonverbal, but you can feel it in your hearts as Than's light fully illuminates the room. Oken, even if you can't remember them, is there anyone that you would want to see, to talk to, that you have lost?
I think I would want to talk to Echo.
You reach out, and Than says, Echo still walks this world.
That's good.
You will see her again. Is there anyone else? Someone in the great beyond?
I don't know that many people, especially those that have died. Tough question to answer right away. Pass.
You got it, friend. And Than moves on to Lavender.
Well, I just saw someone who I wanted to see, and everyone else is here, already here. I don't know if I could see her one more time or not because not sure how this all works.
You're very lucky if you haven't lost anyone to the great beyond yet. Consider yourself blessed, Lavender.
Thank you.
Than turns to you. Portal's open, friend.
I am aware, and I appreciate it. But you know just as well as I that it is harder to deal with these matters if you do not deal with them healthily. There is no one that I can say that I've recently engaged with or recently lost that I would like to see. But I thank you for the offer, my friend.
Every time you do this service, the offer is always there. Just have to say yes.
I'm aware, but health is important, and living in the past does not allow you to move on to the present and do the duty you need to do.
And so the gateway to the beyond closes. And all that's left is the same polished wood double doors that leads to the long ice house, where you can hear a whole bunch of people giggling, sharing hot cocoa, and laughing for sunrise. Do you all join them?
Mm-hmm.
All
I
right.
want to
Sure.
make sure I name the painting Ulysses after
Ulysses?
yeah,
Yes.
but then I'll join them.
The double doors open, and I'm going to describe the warmth to be found within, and a hot fireplace, a steamy mug of cocoa, or simply the smile of a friend. It's all three, as all of you are welcomed. It's been explained to the rest of the kids that the banners aren't really needed, but you can see that all of the makeshift banners that they had been making have been put up on the walls. Some of the older adults are starting to spike some of their hot cocoa with rum. It's getting to be, a wonderful, fun sunrise. There's fish and chips that are being shared amongst everyone, and overall, it's a great night. Um, before you all share the sunrise together and bed down for the morning instead of the night, I want to ask each of you, is there anything else that you would like to do before you head out to watch the sun crest up over the horizon? Oken?
Hmm. No, nothing calling me to mention right now.
Okay. Horus.
He will ask Oken how he feels his apprenticeship is going.
Okay. Oken, how do you respond to that?
My apprenticeship to you?
What was that, Mark? I did not hear what you said.
My apprenticeship to you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm learning a lot, but I kind of want to learn a lot more of everything. Also, you deal with a lot of spooky stuff, and I'm brave, but it's not very popular, you know?
There will continue to be much, quotes, spooky stuff.
Mm.
Just letting you know.
That's fine.
Lavender, is there anything specific you would like to do before sharing the
Yes.
sun? Oh, okay, here we go.
I'm going to give Horace did a portrait of you.
Mhm.
Okay, I don't use black in my paintings, but somehow I've still managed to get the essence of how your clothes are dark, and your portrait is it's you um leading to a path, and there's like colors of the firelight. It looks really cool, even though I'm bad at describing it right now.
No, I love that.
It's more color
Purples,
than you've
a lot of
seen.
grays. Yeah, it's a lot of purples, a lot of stuff like that, I would
Purples,
assume.
blues, and
Yeah,
grays. I love that. The
yeah,
kind of like
lots of
the implication of black, but using like lots of color to kind of
yes.
make it. It's, yeah.
And I give one to Oken, which is you look older and bigger in the portrait. And
Turns out Oken's going to be 7 feet tall.
Yes.
and one more picture, she's going to actually find Kamal
Yep. hmm
and
Kamal
give.
is reading tarot cards for a whole bunch of people. Oh,
I
hello.
I wanted to give you something. I wanted to give it to you earlier, but I kind of was busy, off doing things.
Going on adventures with Oken and Horus is always rewarding. I've been enjoying reading people's fortunes, so I was just gonna let you run off and get to know them.
And anyway, here, and she gives him a. This is more of like a drawing of him and Azalea.
Thank you. He rolls it up and places it in a little inner pocket next to his heart.
Can I travel with you?
More than welcome to, of course.
Okay, great.
Your family.
I wanted to meet you for a long time.
Well, it's an honor to meet you. Sunrise later?
Yes.
It's a fun night filled with food, good times, cuddle puddles, tarot card readings. And finally, the four of you are all on a bench outside, all bundled up, in like blankets with hot cocoa. Some of the other adults are out here as well, all on these kind of benches that they've made for sunrise. Everyone's kind of facing, and you see it. The sun rising up over the horizon. And the sunrise of a new year. I'm going to give everyone earns a token, as I feel that you've had fun with people that you care about. Do any of you wish to spend a token to spot something fantastical and impossible that no one should see?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds like for the time.
All right. We got 2 for 2. Lavender, what do you see?
I see um an aurora borealis.
Just shining up above the
Yes.
sunrise?
Yes. Um and because it's at sunrise, the colors are, you know what, actually they're more vibrant than they would normally be. The sky looks like a painting. It looks like somebody went up into the sky and painted all these beautiful colors with the sunrise happening.
Horus, what do you see?
I see a productive and happy family. Because I feel that is good for my story.
Yep. They're nearby, all watching sunrise together, all awake. They have little fish cakes, you know, they've got a little makeshift breakfast, 2 kids, 2 parents, an older teenager. Just really happy.
I got one.
All right.
Just for a moment, Oken sees the 99 vengeful demons standing on the ice as the fish monsters open up the ice and crack into the earth, and they just start like just going crazy. And Oken's like, and then back to normal.
Epic. Epic. So, questions. Look at the playbooks. Look at your questions. Ask one left, ask one right. We'll start with Horus.
Oh man. Don't have my playbook. Oh, my playbook questions. Yes. Sorry, I have to go to that page.
Yeah.
On a different page.
They also should be on the bottom of the.
Yep, that's why I'm headed there right now.
Okay.
So to Lavender. That one's weird and doesn't necessarily apply. I will ask Oken why my Firefly likes you so much now. I will ask that question because that is a good one. Unless I'm missing the thing I'm looking for question wise. That's what I have. Unless I'm missing something.
No, you've got when did you lead me back into the light? Why does my Firefly like you so much? And where do I wish I could guide you, and why can't you?
Yep, I was pretty sure that was correct. Yeah.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go with Oken about why my Firefly likes you so much.
I think your Firefly likes me because now maybe it understands the burden that Oken carries, and how positive Oken can be in spite of those challenges, supernatural challenges.
And then for Lavender, where do you wish I could guide you, and why can't I?
I wish you could guide me back to the Sky Castle, but you can't because that's that's not part of my journey anymore.
So that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. It's beautiful. Oken. It's sunrise. Ask one question left and ask one question right.
I'm gonna ask Lavender, what endearing nickname have you given it?
Big brother.
Big brother?
Yes.
Curious. Okay.
That's what the painting's called.
Yes, it is.
And for Horus, I'm going to ask, what went wrong the last time I dragged you along on a misadventure?
What was wrong last time? What?
I dragged you on a misadventure.
I just don't think he was ready yet. He was dealing with his own thing. What was wrong was self-doubt.
Yep.
I dig it.
And our newest traveler, Lavender. Ask one left and ask one right.
Okay. For I guess for Oken, how do you know I need a hand when I don't ask for one?
Don't ask for one. I think you have a tell. And it's when you stop eating cookies. That's when you're stressed out. Like when
That's
there's
a
no
good one.
cookies at hand or in pocket, it's like, oh no, Lavender's in
Yes.
trouble.
That's a good one. And for Horus, it is I drew you while you worked. What did I capture that you didn't see before?
Did not see before. I would say capture that I did not see before. Probably me actually like being smiley when I'm working in a manner that is actually productive for stuff. That I'm not just necessarily being sallow and always frowny face whenever I'm working.
So you can smile.
There's a warmth there. There's a smile.
There's a warmth in the work. Yeah.
Well,
not that he doesn't smile, because he has smiled in the course of the game. It's just a matter of like, doesn't do it all the time, right?
And so, our friends, our travelers, we have reached the conclusion of chapter 4. Thank you so much for coming on this journey. Please, I'm Okami. I've been your guide. Tell us who you are, where we can find you, and then popcorn it to another player. I'm going to start with Mark.
Hey everyone, it's your 41-year-old non-binary boy Mark J. You can find me doing cool stuff with Paul and Leona, and occasionally Janie and Hector too on Apocalyptic Unlimited. We're an all BIPOC space here to uplift other BIPOC through art and actual plays and all the things that we do in this TTRPG space. You can also check out my podcast, None Shot with Mark J, where I interview really cool BIPOC folk about their art and experience, and just I look at the intersection between culture, race, and TTRPG space. That's what I would like to say. That's me. You can find me at GM Mark J on Blue Sky, and yeah, it's been a pleasure to be here. I'm gonna popcorn it to Janie.
Hi, I'm Janie. I was first Azalea and then Lavender, and I play in lots of different places because I just clearly love gaming and coming up with characters. So you can find me a lot everywhere, but lots of channels. But I'm going to try to remember to post on my Blue Sky, which is janiepots.bsky.social, so you know where to find me. And um, I've I hit my wall, so I'm going to popcorn it.
That's what we do. The Janie walls hit, popcorn it to the next player. It's all good. All right, Paul. It's on you.
Hey everybody, my name's Paul. You can usually find me on Apochramatic. That is mostly where I do things. You can also sometimes find me on High Shelf Collective. I don't think I have anything going on with them right now. But as Mark said, you can find us there. We're a BIPOC run, BIPOC TTRPG space, as well as other things. You can usually find me most Thursdays playing video games with Leona and Ashton. If you're looking for a wild time and silliness, we just started getting into Jesus, I can talk. We just started getting into name of the game, Jump Ship. So super fun there. But yeah, you can find us you can find me most places on the internet if I want to be found, which is not anywhere right now. I'm slowly moving out of social media spaces. So if you want to get in touch with me, maybe shout out on Apochramatic stuff and I will find you. All right.
All right. And with that, we're going to go ahead and head out. Please stay for the raid. We're going to be raiding Pocket Dragon Pub, where you're going to be seeing me again in the next 15 to 30 minutes, running a very special A Season's Oath interlude. So there will be more Wanderhome this evening over same charity. We're also raising money for Rainbow Railroad. So if you can, please stay for the raid. But otherwise, have a beautiful night, and thank you for coming on this journey with us.